Hello and welcome to Tuesday. We are test driving a customer car per request. This is a 2000 M5 with the full leather black sport interior. Kind of cool. 90,753 miles. It is carbon black. He's in for a PPI. We're refinishing 4 rear style 65s to chrome shadow, fresh tires. We'll put those on after they're mounted and balanced, of course. Then I am going to recommend an alignment, various suspension components, various interior trims, mostly cosmetic. This car doesn't need a lot, just kind of some of the cosmetic stuff. It's got Dynon mufflers. It's got Dynon software tune with automatic sport mode, which is really nice as you start the car, or maybe it's sport mode memory, I'm not sure which, but it came on when I started it. And it has a Dynon differential, which I assume is that 3.43, I want to say. So I'm in 4th right now. I always do the test at 60. There's 6th. 6th at 60 in a stock diff at 3.15 would be exactly 2,000 RPM. And we're just a touch over 2,000 RPM now. And when you drive the car, it's, especially with this tune, it's definitely a little bit harder to shift smoothly. It's a little bbit more squirrely. But what's incredible is the 3rd gear pull from, I don't know, let's say 50 to 70 or something like that, because 3rd, I don't know, it runs through 3rd like a stock one runs through 2nd. That's pretty awesome. Okay, we're updating a Mark III navigation computer in this car. When I got it in the shop last week, we had a Mark II that was dead, a 16:9 that was seemingly dead, and no radio function. So I popped a Mark III in there. That booted up the display. That worked. Pressing the power button on the display still meant no radio. So that's really annoying. So I swapped CD43s. Well, first I checked the fuse on the existing radio, which is actually in there right now, and the fuse was not blown. So I tried this CD43, still no beans. Tried this CD43, no beans. Moved on with some help from Ted. We found out a pinout for this C43 radio. 15 is the ground, 5 and 7 should be switched 12 volt lines. Pin 7 had plenty of power, pin 5 had nothing. That's has a relay over here, the green one. So I pulled it out and put in a donor. That didn't work. Then I borrowed mine, which I know works, put that in here, still didn't work. Then I compared fuse blocks. My car has 7 fuses back here. This one only had 6. This red one was missing. I borrowed one of those. I robbed one of those from a wiring harness from a previous car, and the radio is back online. DSP works, system sounds great. So now I'm updating this Mark III to the latest software in hopes that I can talk this customer, convince this customer away from the Ionin. Well, I hate this aftermarket trash so much. The advertising looks great. Yeah, they add a million functions to the very untrained eye. It still looks fairly factory. You know, you get a CD player in the dash, you get an SD, you get GPS with modern stuff. I think it's Android based. You get a microphone, you get calling, you get Bluetooth, you get Wi-Fi, but then you have all this bullshit back behind the dash and just bags and bags and bags of adapters and hardware, and you've got to cut and splice and add all this crap that devalues the car and just looks like complete trash. I don't care if the stuff adds function. The functionality, yeah, it functions, but it's a crap experience compared to the factory stuff. Yes, the factory stuff is old, but it works beautifully. And with the Blue Bus, I think that's the ultimate pairing, is what this car right here has. And that's a BM53, latest part number, brand new out of the box as of a few weeks ago. A Mark IV navigation computer on a custom version of V32, a 16:9 display, of course a DSP amp, and what am I missing back there? Leave the CD changer in, why not? You can unplug the Blue Bus if somebody wants to play a CD and bring that back. So I'm going to talk to him this afternoon, see if I can talk him out of that. Of course I'll still put it in if it's a customer request. I just don't want to. And I think the Mark III and then a Blue Bus in this car would bring phone calling, would bring Bluetooth. The DSP amp seems to be working now that it's supplied with power. I checked to make sure that the 12 volts disappear with the key off, and it does, so we shouldn't have a power drain issue. That's where we are. So we're going to wait for that to finish. I'll send him some pictures and then get a quote on that Blue Bus and an ETA and see if we can move that way. Okay, I forgot to film an end clip here for Tuesday. We got everything back online. The Mark III updated. Everything came back, looks good. The pin 5 back at the CD40 or the C43 radio is switching off. The car is going to sleep. So I think the cause of the battery drain, which I don't think I mentioned, the car had a battery drain, which he thought was the radio. I think that was the Mark II that was dead and just not sleeping because it was dead and not communicating on the network properly. So that's out. Mark III's in, updated. C43 works again per the fuse. And talked to the customer. He didn't really want to go aftermarket anyways. He's thrilled that he can retain the stock functionality. 3 other shops had spent time with the car and just couldn't figure out what was wrong. So that's kind of ridiculous. It took me an hour. So that's done. We're going to bill him out. I gave him a huge PPI result with like 28 different recommended jobs, ranging from you need this now to, hey, in like 3 years you should probably consider this. That's how those things work. So we're waiting on some parts right now. The wheels are going to be coming back early next week, if not tomorrow, refinished and with new tires on them. So car's really coming along. He's out of town this weekend, so he'll get it back next week. That's going to be the end of Tuesday. I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.